So tell me a little bit more about your sister, your
Yeah.
mom. I mean, they sound like pretty amazing people. I mean,
Yeah.
your mom sounds like she's hustling and loving her kids and doing everything she can, and your
Yeah.
sister's there to kind of step in and really care for you in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about their role in your life.
Yeah, man. Two of the strongest, not just women, man, just people that I've ever met. To be honest with you, my mom had my sister when she was 16, and so she's a kid. And my sister's dad was gone, and then 8 years later, me, and so like I can't. I'm 35 with no kids, and I can't fathom putting two human beings successfully through life like my mom did with me and my son. Like I don't know how she did that actually, especially at the age that she was. So that's impressive in itself. And then, man, I'll fast forward a little bit, and we can bounce back and forth when I tell you this. But my sister ended up committing suicide. Right, so she's no longer with us. And
how old were you when that happened?
I was in college. I just graduated. Last time I had talked with her, we were prepping my college graduation party plans and all of that type of stuff. So I'm in Virginia. She's still back home in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And then I get the news that she ended up committing suicide. And so, like, you think about it, she was the one that helped me with my homework. She was the one that stayed on my ass, made sure I got through high school, stayed focused on sports, blah, 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 go to college. And to just kind of have the rug literally ripped from up under you, that was a pivotal moment in life.
Oh my God.
Like that completely changed my life because she was like my mom. You know what I'm saying? I had two moms. And so when she left, my life became very, very different.
Yeah, I'm just touched by even hearing that story, imagining just the heartbreak and the shock.
Yeah.
I mean, was it shocking? Did you expect anything remotely like this possible? Yeah.
Yeah. So my sister had always dealt with she struggled with weight loss and I think confidence in that area. But I never saw that coming, to be honest with you. Like to just lay it out plain. I never saw that. She was very successful. So she graduated from Fisk University for her bachelor's, went on to get her master's from TSU. She was an auditor for the state of Tennessee, married. By the time she had committed suicide, she had a 3-year-old, my nephew, who I'm very close with. On paper, house, 2 cars, like on paper, she's like living the American dream, right? Like house, picket fence, kid, 2 degrees and shit, stable job, good income. So no, I honestly didn't quite see it coming. And we were so close. Like when we would get into shit, we would take up for each other. Like it wasn't like she was snitching on me, the mom, and I'm snitching on her. We're like huddling up, like how can we get away with some shit? Like we were thick as thieves. And so that was hard. That was, and it still is hard, honestly, even till today.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that last part because that's the kind of thing that can really stick with you for a lifetime. And it can be in varying levels of hard, and you can choose how to be with it and how it can serve you and what you want to do with it. But it's still a loss of somebody that was really, really important to you and that you loved.
Sorry to cut you off. One thing she told me, I'll never forget. She told me, and I forget how old we were, but she was like, "I never got a childhood." And for some reason, like that, that's another one of those things that always sticks out. At some point, she told me, she was like, "I never really got a childhood." And as I think about it, there was no way she could have got a childhood because she was basically raising, me. My mom was gone, her dad's gone, or whatever. So like that was one of the things that like kind of always stuck with me too, is her saying that like I never had a childhood.
Yeah.
So sorry to cut you off.
No. I think that's really important. I'm glad you shared it. And I'm curious, then what? What happens? You shared that this, changes your life. Yep. Obviously, this is going to change your life. How?
Yep. So we'll catch up. I graduate high school. I get a basketball scholarship to go off to college, play ball, and I get that news, and then I come home, right? And so it was like I didn't get to finish my test or some shit in college because I ended up coming. They had to delay, like some shit with my graduation was all finicky, but we ended up working that out or whatever. So I come home, and I immediately just like matured. It was like I grew up overnight. And it was because everybody always was depending on Toya. She was like the one in the family that got her shit together. Nobody else had like gone off to college, graduated 2 degrees, was doing well, giving people money in the family and that kind of shit. And so now that she's gone and I just graduated college and now I've got my nephew who I'm extremely close with, right? I just assumed so much responsibility. And not that people put responsibility on me, but I feel like I just like started snatching it up and started like asking my mom, what can I do for my nephew? Like, what do I need? I just heard another gear just like hit for me. I felt like I had to like take my shit up a notch. So much so that I don't even think I mourned as much during that time because I just immediately started to assume so much responsibility. And that was a pivotal moment for me. I ended up going off to play basketball down in Mexico. So I did a season down there, got paid to play, et cetera, et cetera. But like, it was a switch, man, that just hit on for me that I was like, fuck it, I'm going to get it by any means. Because now I'm the guy. Like she's gone. I'm the guy now that has to do all of the providing and the grunt work.
Yeah, I wondered, what was underneath that, if it was about, needing to provide, or if it was also about, wanting to give back since, she had given so much to you. Obviously this message that, she didn't have a childhood. I'm wondering, kind of how that made you feel relative to your nephew. I know he's so important to you, and what was it that you kind of were thinking as far as what you wanted to give to him?
Yep. You nailed it. I mean, I poured a lot of energy into him, and I still do. Some of my friends are like, man, that's slick, like your son, man. Like you and that kid, man. Y'all are thick as thieves. Like our birthdays are 2 days apart. You know what I mean? And she tried to have him on my birthday. Like she was literally trying to get him out on the 22nd, but he ended up coming up on the 24th and shit. And so, man, when you see a 3-year-old just confused, he was just confused. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on. He's crying, he's hurt, he doesn't know why. And so I made sure that like I tried to make sure that he didn't have an effed up childhood. To that point. Like I wanted to make sure everything was just easy breezy for him. Because now he's 3 years old and he's already starting off the world without a mom. Yeah. And that's hard. And you know what I'm saying? And so I tried to do everything I could to make sure he was going to be straight.